Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber. For today's video, I want to do another reading for 24 hours. But it's not gonna be for like a continuous 24 hours. I'm gonna be doing this throughout the week, but trying to do it in as little of days as possible. The last time I tried this, it did not at all go the way that I planned. I'm pretty sure it ended up taking me, I want to say like 6 days. It was like 6 or 7 days it took me. And so this time I want to try to do that in even less days. So it is currently Saturday the 20th. I'm starting this kind of on like a weird day, but yeah, we're just going with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my timer. Currently, I am reading A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. I am on chapter 9, which is 84 pages in, and so far I am really enjoying it. It already had me like starting off on, I think it was like page 10. It already had me tabbing because the banter in this. I love the banter between the main female character, and I have a feeling he's gonna be like the main male character, but I really enjoy their banter. Even just like the way that they like met, like I just already love it. It's everything I'd hoped it would be so far. The female main character so far has been the embodiment of FMC badass, and I'm loving it. I'm here for it. This is like a Norse mythology story. If you have watched Vikings and you know Lagertha, the wife to Ragnar, if you've watched that show, her like prime time in that of being like a shield maiden when she's at her peak badass, that's this character. So if you liked that, I think that you'll really enjoy this story. I think it's safe to say that I am finally getting out of my reading slump, because all I want to do is read this book. When I'm not reading it, I want to come back and pick it up. And I am kind of taking a long time to get through this so far, because I think I started this like 2 nights ago. So that's part of the reason I wanted to start this 24-hour challenge now, is so that I can give myself a excuse to just sit and read this and slack in my responsibilities in life. So with that being said, we're gonna get right into this. I'm gonna set up my timer here. Okay, so a little bit of an update. Yesterday I read a little over 4 hours. I ended up getting to page, it's kind of, I stopped in the middle of a chapter, but I ended up getting to page 203, and I don't know, that looks like the 50% mark. So I'm gonna go with that it is. But so far, nothing has really changed in my thoughts for this book. I'm still really enjoying it. I like the plot of this book, and I like where it's going. The banter is still bantering very well. I'm liking the character dynamics. I love the main female character. Love how this is all going. Yeah. I really don't have much of an update other than that. So I'm getting kind of a late start today because it is 1:16 in the afternoon. I wanted to start more this morning, but that did not happen. So I'm gonna try to read as much as I possibly can today. Hopefully get at least another 4 hours minimum in, but I will update you guys a little bit later. So I just finished A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This book got me out of my reading slump. I think I'm going to go with either, I'm torn between a 4.5 and a 5 star. I couldn't get enough of this book. I could not stop reading it, and every time that I did stop reading it, I just immediately wanted to pick it back up. It was everything I had hoped it would be. The banter was perfection. The ending, I won't say what trope it was, but I need the next book now, okay? I need the next book. I need to know where this is going to go. I loved it. Plenty of plot twists. Some of them I did guess, but it did not take away from the story at all. I don't care that I guessed them. I ate this up. I loved the main character. There were a couple times where, like, she was kind of bugging me a little bit, but at the same time, like, it's understandable, you know? Loved the banter. Loved the tension. The slow burning was slowing. No, that's not. What? The slow burn was slow burning. Okay. Yeah. I don't really have anything negative to say about this book. It got me out of my reading slump. I love it. I can't recommend this enough. Even if you don't know a lot about Norse mythology, if you've never read one before, I'm telling you, pick this book up. With the whole 4.5, 5 star thing, with me being torn between it, I'm going to give myself a couple days to think on it, and editing me will put it somewhere around here on what my final thoughts were. I want to give this like a couple days to really sink in, to really decide if I'm still going to be thinking about this book in the next couple days. Because sometimes I get really hyped up on a book and I convince myself that it's a 5 star, and then a couple days will go by and I just never really think about the book again. And I'm like, you know, it was really good for what it was, but I don't know if it was quite that 5 star. Also, a reminder that here my 5 stars are solely like vibe. Did I click with the book? Did I have a fun time reading it? Is it something that I'm going to think of in the future? My 5 stars do not come from, is it the best written book? Okay. It's solely just like how I felt reading it. That's it, okay? If you're looking for somebody who rates 5 stars based on like the writing and everything like that, this isn't the place, all right? That's not me. Yeah, we still have 14 hours and 34 minutes left on the timer. I don't know what I want to pick up next. That one I'm really struggling because on Saturday morning at like 5 a.m., I leave to go on vacation. And I don't necessarily want to take a physical book with me. I really only want to take my Kindle. So I'm torn on what book I want to start because there's a couple of them. So the couple that I'm torn between is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. 3 of these are on my monthly TBR. One of them is not. So The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, and When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. And then this is the one that's not on my monthly TBR, but it's The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. So I kind of want to get to all these because, like, this is a series that I'm in the middle of, and I've been really wanting to get to the next one pretty bad. I don't know if I can. I think I could finish this in 14.5 hours. I think I could. I would hope that I could. This one I highly doubt I'd finish in 14.5 hours, but this is also Kindle Unlimited, so even if I don't finish it, I could finish it on my Kindle on the plane. So that's a big possibility. Again, I would hope that I could finish this in 14.5 hours, but I don't really know. Also, I don't know if I want to start a new series or not. And then with this one, I don't know if I want to read a romance is the problem. There's also a couple books that I am in the middle of reading on my Kindle, which one of them, I think I'm like 60% of the way through already, and that is Don't Let Me Fall. And I don't remember the author, but I started it in my last reading vlog and didn't finish it. So that's also a possibility. And then I'm also in the middle of reading Queen of Myth and Monsters, but I still don't think I'm really in a place to pick that up again. I think I made it to like 50 or 55% mark on that book, and I just don't know. I don't think I'm really in this mental headspace. I also kind of want to start The Hobbit. I think that I'm going to start The Gilded Cage. The monthly TBR was already shot, so does it really matter at this point? I don't think so. I think this is going to be the one that I go to. I don't know. I kind of really want to start Daughter of the Moon Goddess too. Ugh, the struggle's real. I think I'm just going to do it. That's the one we're going with. I'm sticking to it. I'll let you know if I change my mind. It's literally been less than 10 minutes since I said that I was going to read The Gilded Cage. And can we be shocked that I'm changing my mind already? No. I'm changing to Kingdom of the Feared, which is the final book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series by Carrie Maniscalco. I know. It wasn't even one of the ones that I said that I wanted to read. There's really no surprise there. I didn't even shock myself when I sat down to start The Gilded Cage. And I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I'll read this one instead. And yeah. So that's what we're going to go with. Finally tick this one off the series that I'm in the middle of. Who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind again. Hopefully I stick to this one. Okay, anyway, I'll update you guys later. Now listen, I know what you're thinking. You've already changed your book twice now. Well, I'm here to change it yet again to Don't Let Me Fall by Kelsey Ray, the book that we were in the middle of reading before on the reading vlog, because I just realized that tomorrow a Funny Story by Emily Henry gets released. And I pre-ordered it through Barnes & Noble, but they still haven't shipped it, and so I'm gonna buy it on my Kindle too because I'm impulsive and I can't wait. And knowing how long they always take to get it to me, I probably won't even get it before I leave for vacation. So I'm just gonna buy it on my Kindle, and I'm gonna buy that in the morning. So in the meantime, I'm gonna try and get as far as I can in this, and yeah, so it wouldn't be a 24-hour video with me if my timer didn't shut off, because that's exactly what happened. I went to go start my timer again because I was about to sit down and read, and I just got home from work, and it was up at work because I started listening to The Silent Patient on Spotify, and I had started my timer and then paused it before I left work, and then I just went to go pull it back up, and it's not there. Luckily, last night was the first night I decided to do it. I did take a picture. I did screenshot my lock screen that had the time left, because the last time that I did this, the same thing happened. I was good for like the first 12 hours worth of the reading vlog, and then my timer randomly shut off. So I made sure to screenshot it, and I know that I was down, I think I was at like 12 hours and 29 minutes or something around there, because I did start listening to The Silent Patient this morning when I was at work, the audiobook to it, and I did listen to 32 minutes worth of that, because I have 2 minutes left on chapter 3, and that I think was like 15 minutes. Yeah, I listened to 12 minutes and 43 seconds, so 13 minutes worth of chapter 3. So I'll add up the time that I listened to this, and I'll take that away from the timer from last night, and I'll just let that run down when I'm not reading. But I'm so glad that I just had a feeling last night. I haven't screenshotted it at all this whole time because it's Tuesday now, but last night before bed, I was just like, I don't want to lose all my progress. So I'm going to screenshot this, and I'm so glad that I did, because this exact same thing happened. I think I was at like the 12-hour mark the last time I made a video with this when it disappeared. So today is the release of Funny Story by Emily Henry. And it's taking everything in me not to buy it on my Kindle right now so that I can read that. And I still may end up caving. I should have known, because it's Barnes & Noble. They always take forever with pre-orders. Anytime I do a pre-order, they always tell me that they're going to get it. Like, the estimated delivery is always either like the day or the day after the release date. And I really just don't know why I keep pre-ordering books through them, because it's literally every time they tell me that, it ends up being like a week afterwards. So right now, I leave Saturday morning, and it says it's not going to be here until Monday. So already I know I'm not going to get it before I go on vacation. But also, even though it says estimated delivery is Monday, it also said that I don't remember what book I pre-ordered. I think it was The Ballad of Never After. It was their special edition paperback. And it said it was going to be there, I think like 4 days after it released, and I didn't get it. Ended up getting lost for like 4 days. So I don't think I got that for over a week after it released. And so I'm gonna try my hardest not to buy that on my Kindle, even though I really, really, really want to. And I'm gonna keep reading Don't Let Me Fall, whatever it's called, by Kelsey Ray, the book that I've been reading on my Kindle. I'm going to go back to reading that. I think I read like 10% of it last night. I think I only have like 2 hours left in that book before I'm done with it. So I'm going to at least finish that. And then I don't know what I want to read after that. I'm debating on going into, I don't know, I'm torn. I want to read another romance. Do I though? Part of me wants to, no. Well, Why is it so hard to pick what I want to read next? I don't know if I want to go into When the Moon Hat, or I kind of want to finally start Magnolia Parks, or I'm debating on reading The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I've never read an Elle Kennedy book, and I don't remember what the context was, but I saw on TikTok the other day like a little quote from there, and it was from The Graham Effect, and it made me want to read it. So I don't know what I want to do. Those are like the three that right now I'm kind of torn between, but that's pretty much irrelevant. We'll talk about that when I finally finish Don't Let Me Fall. I don't know. That one's getting a lot better. I am starting to enjoy it more. It is, look into it before you do pick it up, because it is kind of, I don't know. I'm having a hard time clicking with like some of the tropes in it, and kind of like the time period that like events are happening, like the time frame that they're happening. I'm kind of, I don't know. The book's good, and I think that a lot of people would probably enjoy it, but there's just like certain things that I don't personally like, but it's getting better. I am enjoying it more, but Fate Inked in Blood just definitely kind of put me back in my reading slump. I just got out of a reading slump to be put back in it, because like I ended up looking up yesterday because like the whole series is called Saga of the Unfated, and I was looking up to see when book number 2 comes out, and all it says is coming soon. It doesn't even have a name yet, and so I want it so bad. I ended up watching Vikings again for my 3rd time last night, because I'm just like, I need that book to get made into a movie. I feel like that would be such a good movie. Someone should make that happen. But anyway, yeah, we're just going to get back to reading, and then when I'm not reading, I'm going to let the timer run down to however long, like what, 32 minutes? I think I listened to like roughly 32 minutes of The Silent Patients. Okay, ignore the mess going on around me. I'm in the middle of packing. Also ignore the fact that the lighting's bad because it's 8 o'clock at night, so the sun is not sunning very good right now. We are down to 9 hours and 42 minutes, and I did just finish Don't Let Me Fall by Kelsey Ray. I'm giving that 3 stars. I liked it. Didn't love it. Couple times that like the main guy was talking and just what he said was Some of the tropes in it, not really my favorite. A little bit too dragged out. I don't really know how to describe it without ruining anything in it. And I just, even if I wasn't trying not to ruin things, I'm not kidding. I'm in one of those moods where the book was good. It wasn't bad. But I couldn't tell you really anything about it. It's college romance, little bit of hockey going on in it, not really like a huge focal point on it. I didn't necessarily love the main female character. She was kind of annoying, but overall, I mean, I don't know. I just genuinely don't really have much to say about it. It was good, not great, it's decent. It's not Kindle Unlimited. I think it was like $4 on Kindle. So, I mean, it's not super expensive either, but my next dilemma is I don't know what I want to start next. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I really am fighting me internally horrible right now, because I really want to buy Funny Story by Emily Henry on my Kindle. I want to buy it so bad it's not even funny. But I'm also telling myself, like, you need to slow down because you bought that book in the physical form, and you're just gonna have to wait your happy ass until after vacation. But like, I don't want to, but like, I paid for a hardcover physical edition of it, and it's $13 on Kindle. Like, I can't justify buying both. I just can't. But like, knowing that is making it very hard for me to pick my next read, because I really don't know what I'm in the mood for. I don't necessarily want to start a book that's going to take me more than like 10 hours to read. I'd prefer to read another book that I could finish before I leave. But at the same time, I don't really know what book that would be, because most of the books that I have, I feel like are going to take forever. I might pick up The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee, which is a Kindle Unlimited, because I have read her Stars and Shadows series on Kindle Unlimited, and I did really enjoy that series a lot. Her books are on the shorter end, so I think I could finish The Veiled Kingdom in that 10 hours. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Give myself like a little fantasy romance book in between romance books, because I think on the plane I might start maybe The Favor by Suzanne Wright, or The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy, or Heartless by Elsie Silver. I was gonna start The Love Hypothesis because that is on my monthly TBR. Maybe I will do that. I don't know. Why is it so hard for me to pick books? I'm gonna take like a 10-minute break. Okay, so when I went to go edit this video, a bunch of my files were corrupt. And I still don't really know like what even happened to them, but for some reason they just would not play. Luckily, a majority of them I was able to recover and get back. But of course, the last couple clips that I had, like of the timer running down, and I had a couple of like reading clips, those all I couldn't get them fixed at all. So those are just all gone, unfortunately. So I don't have the last like couple hours running down, but whatever, so be it. The last clip that I believe was in here was me with like 8 hours and some minutes left on the timer, and I was starting A Fallen Sword by Kaven Herning. So this one, I had already started this book previously, but I ended up restarting the book because I didn't really like remember much, because this is like loosely based on D&D, I think is what she said, but the whole book is, I've talked about this in a previous video, this whole book, while she was writing it, she was rolling D&D dice, and so that like determined what was happening in the book. If you're not like familiar with that, it's like, I'm not even super knowledgeable on any of that. I've played Baldur's Gate. I haven't even finished that. So like I very loosely understand how it works. It's like every time that anything's going to like happen, you have to roll the dice, and I don't remember like any of the technical terms, so don't come at me for that. I've never played D&D, and I barely have even played Baldur's Gate. But there's like a certain number that the dice has to be over in order for it to be a successful roll. If not, it's not a successful roll. So I know on like her Instagram, I think it was, is where I was seeing it. She would like do stories of like her while she was writing the book, rolling the dice. So that was definitely like such an interesting take on writing a book. I think that's so cool, and definitely completely out of the box. And I think that knowing that made me like this book even more. I really, really loved the main female character, Mireva. I think that's how you say her name. It's Mireva. In my head, I said Mireva the whole time. I loved her character so much. And also, I absolutely love Lars' character. He's like one of the main male characters in this. Loved his character so much. Their banter is 10 out of 10. Obsessed with it. It does take a little bit of getting used to, because as I said, since it is like loosely around the idea of D&D, these are like made up characters. You obviously have like the base classes like a bard, the assassin, ranger, things like that. But there are, I believe, completely made up from her mind of like races. So that did take me a little bit to get used to, of trying to like, as each character was getting described, trying to remember like what they looked like. So on those pages, I did like flag those pages so that if I did want to go back to try and picture that character, I could at least go into my tabbed pages. So that made it a lot easier. So if you do this reread and you like to visualize the characters, I would recommend doing that on like each page where she does describe what they look like, tabbing that so you can go back. But other than that, overall, I found this to be such an easy follow along. Like the world building was very immersive without being like pages long of just like world building info dump. I felt like there was such a good balance between getting into the story, getting you immersed, and just not making it mind-numbing to where you're like, this is way too much, I need to take a break. I was able to really just like binge this book in just a couple of days. Originally, I think it only said it was going to take me like 6.5 hours. I think it did end up taking me like that full however long that timer was when I started at like 8.5 hours, maybe even 9 hours. It did take me longer because there were times where I was like kind of going back and forth trying to picture it more. But overall, the fighting scenes were really good. The banter is amazing. I cannot wait for the rest of these books to come out. I need them because this does leave off on a cliffhanger and I need to know what's gonna happen. Also, there was one part in this that genuinely had me crying because like I was getting invested in these characters. There wasn't really any characters that I disliked, but yeah, I need to know because like this definitely took turns that I was not expecting it to in like the best way possible. So I did end up rating this 4 stars. Loved this book. Highly recommend it. If you love fantasy, you love things with really good banter. The main female character is grumpy. She's definitely grumpy, but she's a badass. There are multiple like main characters in a way, but like you mainly focus on Mareva. And then Lars is another one of the main male characters. He's super like sunshine, go with the flow, always looking on the bright side of things. He's very funny. Loved his character. And then I think you say it I don't know if you pronounce it Baga or Baga. He's one of the other main male characters. He's very quiet, reserved, kind of keeps to himself. But it was really interesting, but like not in a boring way. Like even when it was focusing on him, it was like one of those things where he's quiet, but like you get little info about him and it just makes you want to know more about him. And then there's obviously like a bunch of other characters, which I'm hoping a lot of those side characters from this one kind of get more main focus in the further book or in like the next couple. I don't know how many, honestly, I don't know how many are going to be in here. I don't know if this is just a duology or if there's going to be multiple books, but I know that there's at least another one coming out at some point because I've seen her talk about it, and also I'd be devastated if it ended in this cliffhanger and I didn't get any answers. I'd cry because I'm super invested in this world right now and I need them pronto. Also, on another note, A Forbidden Fate series, the 3rd one I think comes out this year, and if you haven't picked that one up, that's another really good one. The 2 main characters can't touch her, they die, so... But there's still spice scenes with it, but like not a ton. It's like the perfect amount. I love that series, can't wait for the next one to come out. I think it was the first one got 5 stars and the second one got 4 or 4.5 stars for me. Really enjoyed that one too. 3rd one's coming out this year. So if you haven't picked any of her books up, I highly recommend it because they're super entertaining. The banter and the like chemistry between the characters in all her books are top tier. I love them. They're super easy to follow along with and super bingeable. So anyway, I'm going to stop ranting about that. Yeah. That's all I have is just this was the book that we finished with. It ended up being a 4 stars. So in 24 hours, we got through, 3 books, and it was pretty successful. Don't Let Me Fall by Kelsey Ray was just an book. I'm not disappointed that I read it, but it wasn't like over the top great in my opinion. This one, awesome. What was the first book I finished? I don't know. My brain's not really working in my favor today, so I'm not going to lie. I can't remember what the first book was that we read during this because it's taken me so long to edit this that I've read quite a few books since. So that is all I have for you today. If you made it this far, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps my videos tremendously. And go ahead and give me some book recommendations because I want them. Do I need them? No, but I love adding books to my TBR. So let me know what your most recent book that you've read that you gave like a 4-star or above to. I'd love to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all my future videos. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!